at a meeting 2 weeks ago with the Prime Minister, Carlos Ghosn, the Nissan chief executive, was given assurances that the Sunderland plant would remain competitive. That's the backdrop to the company's decision this week to invest not only in producing the next generation of the Qashqai model at the plant, but also moving the X-Trail, an SUV currently made in Japan, to the site. These cars are not going to be made until 2019, the point at which Britain will already have left the EU. So the government has 2.5 years in which to work out how it's going to achieve its aim that Nissan will not face any change in its trading conditions. What the Financial Times has learned is that Nissan indicated that the whole of its UK business hinged on the decision to award the Qashqai to Sunderland. The Qashqai is the biggest car made at the Sunderland plant. If the work had gone elsewhere, such as to one of the company's plants in Spain, it was very unlikely the plant would remain competitive in the long run. Before Nissan made the decision, the business secretary Greg Clark, who visited Tokyo last week, wrote to the company's executive committee, setting out in writing the assurances that the government had previously offered to the car maker. This letter means that Nissan now has a piece of paper to wave, something that's actually codified and written down, which guarantees the government's assurances to the company that it won't face a change in its trading conditions. If Nissan's decision had gone the other way, analysts say it would almost certainly have spelt the beginning of the end for some of Britain's car industry at a time when it's been enjoying an industrial renaissance. What Nissan's decision does mean is that the other car makers are going to be banging on the door of Downing Street, demanding the same reassurances and conditions that have been offered to Nissan in order for them to make their decisions to bring their next cars to the UK as well. All of these car plants in the UK are built on the basis that they will have unfettered access to the European market. Nissan exports 80% of its cars to the EU, as does Vauxhall, as does Toyota. And even the car companies that sell their cars mainly in the UK buy more than half of their parts from the EU. So tariff-free and barrier-free access to the European single market is absolutely critical for these car makers in order to keep their plants competitive. Other industries are now watching very closely what happens with these decisions. The financial services sector, the life sciences and pharmaceutical sector, aerospace, defence, manufacturing, all of these will be lining up, queuing outside Downing Street in order to get an audience with the Prime Minister to demand that they face the same assurances from government. All of these can be seen to be critical to the UK's economy, either producing highly skilled jobs here, having research and development they can export to the rest of the world, or just bringing in vast amounts of tax revenue to the exchequer. Every one of them will want some assurances that they too will be protected by the government's Brexit shield.